It's a great pleasure for me to introduce this short video on our new look stadium. I'm sure that everyone who comes here will appreciate our two new stands and the facilities it now gives our fans. It would be remiss of me at this time not to say thank you to everyone who's been involved with the project, Clive Holt, Mike King, Eric O'Neill, and all the companies who have put a lot of work into this magnificent stadium. The fans, I am sure, will appreciate the new facilities that they have now, and I hope that we can match this on the field, and that this year, at the end of the season, we are celebrating promotion to the First Division. Keep shouting for us, enjoy the facilities, and thank you.
Situated in the heart of Burnley, Turf Moor, the home of Burnley Football Club. During December 1994, the decision to take Burnley Football Club Stadium into the 21st century was taken. Tenders for the work were circulated. In July 1995, Linpave, a Lincolnshire-based construction company specialising in sports stadium development, were chosen to carry out the work. On Saturday, September the 16th, 1995, the directors and supporters of Burnley Football Club said their last farewells to the Longside. Hull City were the visiting team. The attendance was 10,613, the highest gate in the second division. This decision carries on the great tradition of Burnley Football Club's ambition to relive the glory days seen at Turf Moor. The last major development at Turf Moor was the construction of the famous Bob Lord stand. This was officially opened on Saturday, September the 14th, 1974, by the then Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition, the Right Honourable Edward Heath MP. On this occasion, Leeds United were the visitors. The Burnley manager was Jimmy Adamson, who later went on to manage Leeds United. Burnley went on to win 2-1 in front of a crowd of 25,000 people. Look at the league table at this time. No Manchester United. They were relegated to the second division in the previous season. How times change. On September the 18th, 1995, the demolition of the Longside begins. As the phoenix grew from the ashes, so too does the North stand from the old Longside. The heaviest piece of steel weighed 5.5 tons. To lift this, a 50-ton crane was used. "37,000 nuts and bolts hold this construction tightly together. On the 16th of January 1996, the sad news of the death of Harry Potts, the former and some would say the most successful manager at Burnley Football Club, reached Turf Moor. Harry was 75 years old, born on the 22nd of October 1920. Even the heavy snowfall could not deter the ongoing work. Arthur Bellamy and his dedicated ground staff confirmed that the show must go on, or should we say, the snow must come off. On the 12th of February 1996, Jimmy Mullen, the Burnley manager, left Turf Moor by mutual agreement. Jimmy Mullen was succeeded by the club's first ever player manager, Adrian Heath, on the 7th of March 1996. The stands at their highest point stretch 28.5 metres high, making Turf Moor easily visible from the surrounding areas. When completed, the capacity in the North Stand will be just under 9,000 people, the East Stand just over 6,000. Making the total ground capacity at Turf Moor 22,500 people, at a cost of approximately £5.3 million. The scheduled opening of the new North Stand was to be the 23rd of April for the visit of Bristol Rovers. Will the stand be ready? The demolition of the Beehole terraces had already begun. The new North Stand had already been spotted by the local fire brigade for specialised rescue technique training.
Did it again, or do you want him to do it again?
Take two.
Next to go are the floodlights, soon to be replaced by the very latest in lighting technology. old ground is now taking shape, and as the new season gets underway, there is great anticipation of being able to taste the new facilities. Hopefully the legendary Longside chants will soon return to Turf Moor. The stadium is now complete for the visit of Blackpool on Tuesday, September the 10th, 1996, a kick-off time of 7:45 p.m.
Absolutely superb. You can do a bit of bird watching over there as well. I didn't think it'd be that good from bottom to you, but it's a lot better than I thought. Is it? It's magnificent. You like it? I really do, yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's really good. Give it a try then. What else can I say?
Yeah, I think it's just brilliant, like how you can see the pitch from. Like no one gets in your way or anything. It's just brilliant.
It's to stand in the enclosure,
I used to stand in the enclosure. It was about 18 pence, and it was in Bob Lord's day. It was, you know, the team that went to Wembley, and it was a good day.
Changed a bit since then.
Oh, it's changed a lot, but so's the football.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's more I've never seen this before, half an hour before time.
No.
Yet I can remember 3 players. You'd have to get out the pub at this time, never mind.
I think it's really good. It should create a good new atmosphere at Burnley. I think the crowds will come back because of it, and so I think it's really smart.
Yeah, best thing that could ever happen to this club, I reckon, something like this. Yeah.
I think it's lovely. Smashing.
Better than expected.
Well, here we are with Turf Moor nearly completed. I say nearly, there's a little bit of snagging to do, but here, the magnificent redeveloped Turf Moor is now open. It's taken the directors and myself some 5 years to complete, and half a dozen different schemes and different ideas, various modifications. It goes back to 91, Lord Justice Taylor's report and the disaster at Hillsborough, but obviously some good has come out of Hillsborough, and we here at Turf Moor see the result, something that I'm personally very proud of, and I hope all the Burnley fans are very proud of. This is obviously the end of phase 1 and 2. We've still got an important third phase to complete, which is based on the gymnasium, which is community facilities for football in the community. It's going to be worked in conjunction with Burnley Borough Council and the local health trust. It's for residents and it's for our fans, on the theme of Burnley has the fittest fans in the land. Now whether we can get you all along an exercise there, we shall have to wait and see. But the gymnasium is going to be converted with some dressing rooms, creche, a fitness centre, a sports injury clinic, and a small restaurant and bar area, and I think that that will make Turf Moor a very special place to come.
Well, the ground then was what is now the North Stand was the Longside. There was only about 4 concrete steps right across, which actually had been built by the young apprentices of that time. Such like as our old mother, Harry Potts and them, actually built those first lot of terraces. Then, of course, contractors came in later on and built concrete terracing right across. The stand was a covered terrace, a stand was erected in roughly about 1950. The cricket field stand in 1947 comprised of railway sleepers, and of course later on, approximately, I think it was 1969, we built the cricket field stand as it now is the Ensley stand. The Brunshaw Road, which is the Bob Lloyd stand now, was actually a cover called the Brunshaw Road stand. It comprised of about 3,500 seats with an enclosure at the front holding about 6,000 people standing, which meant on that side you could have roughly 9,500 people, whereas today, with being all seated, the Bob Lloyd stand holds under just about 3,000. The Viol end was only partly terraced. Later on, the terracing was extended by means of girders and concrete plants. We could, the maximum attendance in those days was roughly 52,000, and that was for night matches, 54,000 for day matches. The record attendance at all time at Turf Moor was 54,700, round about 1928, and we did in fact have attendances. The record league attendance against Blackpool was about 53,000 and odd. And you could actually empty this ground in 10 minutes or so, because people had access to all the exit gates all around the ground. There was no segregation. Present day, of course, we've got now what must be rated one of the best stadiums in the country, an all-seater stadium with excellent facilities. There's no question about it. It is looking really great now.
How you felt when you were offered the player manager job at Burnley Football Club?
Obviously I was delighted to be offered the job. I think from the moment I came to the club, I think it was about 4.5 years ago now as a player, it's gone really well for me. I've enjoyed every minute of it as a player and had a good rapport with the supporters, and I think they were instrumental in getting me back here. I think a few people said to me at the time they thought I was just an ageing pro coming here to earn his last few days of wages and see his time out, but I've never been like that. I've always given everything I've got, and I think they appreciated that. And as I say, I think they were instrumental in me coming back here to be the manager. It would have been ideal for me perhaps to have been another couple of years with Howard Kendall over at Sheffield United, but that wasn't to be. You don't get the opportunity to manage a football club like this very often, and I couldn't turn it down really.
Now that we've got the stadium complete, how do you think it's had an effect on you and the team?
Well, certainly from my point of view, I feel proud to be the manager and love every time I come out and see the two beautiful new stands, and we've got the equal of anything in our division and the better than most in the first. And although the Bob Lloyd's quite an old stand in terms of age, it's the amenities in there and everything that you'd like to think with the off the field activities is first class. So we've got an excellent ground now. I think from my own personal point of view now, it's nice sending the team out with 4 sides on the ground. Last year when we weren't a particularly good side, we were very short and low on confidence and only playing to 2 or 3 sides. It made it a little bit even extra difficult. But it's nice now to run out here every week, and I'm just sorry I'm not a player running out in front of it every week, because it looks superb now when you come running out the tunnel and you see the 2 big new stands, and we've just got to make sure now that we keep progressing.
What for the future of Burnley Football Club? What do you think? Where do you think you're going?
Well, I'd like to think that I think I said at my press conference, in 5 years' time we'll be in the Premier Division, and I saw a few raised eyebrows at that, but I think what I meant more than anything was the fact that the manager's role these days is so precarious. I think 18 months is the average life expectancy now, shall we say. So if I'm still here in 5 years' time, we'll have made good progress, and that'll either be by being in the Premier League or certainly being towards the top end of the First Division. From my own personal point of view, I'd like to think we could do that, but I want to make sure that we're strong all the way through the club, not just at first team level. I think we're a little bit weak in certain areas of the club, and we've in the process at the moment of redeveloping, if you like, the youth system and the School of Excellence, and I'd like to think that in a few years' time we'll be strong in all divisions, from the 9s and 10 years upwards to the first team. And if we are, if and when I'm either still the manager or I move on, I can take a great deal of satisfaction to think that the club's in a far better, healthier state than was when I came.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Adrian.
Cheers, thanks very much.